The ingredients we need are pizza dough, vegetable oil, pizza sauce, pepperoni, an onion, a bell pepper, cheese, and an apron. Baking supplies will be sprinkles, icing bags, cupcake liners, and cupcake mix. Put on an apron and tie your hair back so that you do not get any physical contaminants into your food. We will be washing our hands with soap and warm water. Once our hands are washed, make sure that they are dried with a clean towel and the water is turned off. Now moving on to the pizza, we will be oiling our bowl with some vegetable oil and putting our pizza dough into the bowl. We will now be covering our bowl containing the dough with cling wrap. This is so the dough can rise. Once our bowl is covered, we will be waiting for the dough to rise. Now we preheat our oven, so it'll be ready when we need to use it. For our cupcakes, we will be using a box mix, so we empty that into our large bowl. Next, we will be pouring in 1 cup of water. Then we will be measuring 1/3 of a cup of vegetable oil and putting that in the bowl as well. Finally, we will be cracking 3 eggs into our bowl, taking care to place the shells away from our workspace. Once our eggs are in our bowl, we will be rinsing our hands so that we do not contaminate the food with any pieces of shell, and drying our hands off. The next step is to stir our mixture until it looks somewhat like this, and this means it is ready to be poured into our cupcake tin.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
To prepare our cupcake tin for our mixture, we will be lining them with these cupcake liners and then pouring in the cupcake mix about halfway to 3/4 of the way full. Once that is ready, we know that our oven is preheated. We will use an oven glove to safely put our cupcakes into the oven, taking care not to burn ourselves. When the cupcakes are done, which should be about 10 minutes, using our oven glove again, we will take them out of the oven and place them on a surface to cool. To test if our cupcakes are cooked, we will be inserting the toothpick into the center of the cupcake, and if the toothpick comes out clean, this is an indicator that our cupcake is ready. Now we will be washing our hands in preparation to cut our pizza toppings. Once our hands are washed, we will be drying them with a paper towel and rinsing our bell pepper.
It takes me like 20 minutes to cut a pepper!
To cut our bell pepper, we will begin by taking out the core of the pepper, slicing around, and pulling at the stem.
How big am I cutting these?
And we will begin cutting our pepper by cutting it in half,
like the slices?
and then proceeding to cut again and remove seeds.
You know how stressful this is that you're watching me cut a pepper? Just try not to cut my hand. Stupid pepper seeds!
After that, we will begin to slice our bell pepper into small pieces to go on top of our pizza. And once that is done, you will have something that looks like this. Moving on to pepperoni, we have that laid out on a plate, and then we will be cutting up our onion, and first we will peel off the outer layers and then cut the onion in half. Again, just like the bell peppers, make sure that your onion is cut into small enough slices to make a good topping for your pizza. Now that our onion is cut up, we will be washing our hands one more time to ensure that we do not cross-contaminate. Now that our pizza dough has risen, we will be kneading our dough using our hands. After this, we will be putting the dough onto a floured surface, in this case parchment or wax paper. Now placing our dough onto our surface, we will be rolling this out. Again, putting flour on top to ensure that the dough doesn't stick. Grabbing our rolling pin and rolling out our dough. Now that our dough is rolled, we pick it up and place it onto a greased pizza pan and press that down again. We can use a rolling pin if necessary to flatten that out, and use fingers or a fork to smooth out the edges. Now we will open our can of tomato sauce using the proper utensil for the job and spoon some onto our pizza and spread that evenly on the dough. Now for toppings, we are putting our cheese after we have laid down our pepperoni, onions, and bell peppers. After our cheese is down, we will go in with the Parmesan and finally the savory. Now that our pizza is done, we are going to carefully pick up the pan with an oven glove and place it inside the oven, taking care not to burn ourselves. We're going to let that bake. Now we will be washing our hands just so that we are ready for our next task, which is frosting the cupcakes. Now that our cupcakes are cool, they are safe to touch. We're going to be picking them up out of the baking pan and putting them onto a large tray. To ice our cupcakes, we're going to be using an icing bag with a tip, whipped icing, and just going in no particular order, just icing our cupcakes. And this is what they look like when they are done. We are then adding sprinkles for added decoration, and this is the final product. Once our pizza is done, we are going to be taking that out of the oven with an oven glove so that we don't burn ourselves, cutting it with the right utensil for the job, in this case a pizza cutter. And that's all for these two recipes.